Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Dovic, and we're bringing you the gameplay that I was talking about last time, a subs gameplay of him and his team in a 4v4 MLG match. This one is Search and Destroy on Hanoi. And we're going to be going over, firstly, what the player that we're going to be watching, which is on the screen right now, is SilentShot. He's the one that submitted the video. And then on the second part, we're going to be going over what his team was doing, right and wrong. And we'll see why they lost the game and improvements that they can make. And we're going over this in the exact same way that our team goes over on replays. We're being just as harsh, just as nice as we would be. There's no coddling because that doesn't get you better. So, I keep saying we because this time I'm joined by Danny. Danny, say hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
As Danny is Deco, as you can see on the screen right now. You can see him a lot in all the videos that I do. He's probably in every one. But without further ado, let's kick it off. Alright. So I start on defense. Go in jail side. Good pre-nade. He wants to get the guy cut going on the backside there. Which is a normal route for a Hanoi search that I've been seeing.
Here's a nice pick off, but he forgot to check the bomb site. Now he's chasing after a kill and gets picked off.
Yep, exactly. You have to make sure when you go through that door, especially in search, check all the corners. You got to be cautious at all points of time. When he's dead, we're just going to fast forward on this first part so we don't have to spend extra time. This is probably going to be a two-part. Alright, so a little late coming off there. Oh, and if you're late coming off the start, don't throw that pre-nade because the guy is not going to be there anymore. The guy that you're trying to catch.
Yeah, you've already missed your window of opportunity and now you're just throwing a nade away.
Alright, you guys got wiped out there pretty fast. On the second part, we'll go over that round and see what happened. That was about 20 seconds, 30 seconds in.
There's a big fault here that cost you guys that round.
Alright, so a little different start off here. Going towards spot. Alright, so you readjusted there because both your teammates kind of went right where you were going. I'm not sure if you guys have the set strategy so you always go jail or if it's just a fluid thing. You're better off there. If you see that guy, don't throw that nade. Just call him out and run away. Because if you expose yourself, you can get yourself killed. If you did that, then you probably would have been prepared for that guy. You want to make sure every time you stop too that you put your gun towards the space that the enemies are going to be. I think you're just pointing at the wall there. Let's move on. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Right, here you guys are leaving the bomb. We see that a couple times when we were going over this before. What you should do to avoid that is probably assign a guy, whether it be you or I think Strain. It's either you or Strain that normally pick it up. Either one of you guys want to pick it up, that's absolutely fine. Just assign somebody so there's no hold off on the start. Because if you hold your breakout off a couple, like 4 or 5 seconds, then you could lose your life because they're so aggressive. This team is very, very aggressive, so they catch you off guard a lot. And that's part of the reason.
You also need to be careful sprinting through doorways. Because that was a really awkward jump and engagement that you had to go through right there to pick up that bomb and escape that death.
Yep. That's something I think you're past 2 deaths, or 2 or 3 deaths. You kind of just like sprinted. And if you're caught off a sprint, you're going to be off guard right away. You're going to have to get your gun out a second late, and by then your shot's already there. I do want to make a note though, I really like where you put that bomb. Even though your teammate got the kill right off, that bomb can be seen through the doorway. Here, let's actually pause it so you can see. That bomb can be seen through the doorway, and you can actually see it through security back here. So your teammate would have been easily able to get at a faraway point and still cover it, which is really crucial in search. It's a very smart play there. Fast forward. Alright, kind of going back to what you were doing the first round. Same kind of route. Oh, don't chase him. Yeah. You gotta make sure you don't chase your kills. If you get the stun on him, that doesn't mean you get the kill. Stuns just basically check where the person is. He's not going to do anything more than that.
Yep, they're there for limiting space rather than giving you an upper hand in a fight. I mean, sure, the guy can't really move, but the guy played it out correctly. He just stared at the doorway, waited for you to come. If you would have just waited for him to make the next move, you probably would have gotten that kill.
Yep. Here's another little late start out. I think once you designate a bomb person, you don't always have to do that once everybody's comfortable with taking the bomb, but once you do that, you'll be fine. I think you're just kind of playing sluggish here, because you kind of stare at that doorway and screw up this stun. But you know, you gotta make sure you're focused constantly, especially in search, because search is a lot about the 1v1 battles and how your team plays together. But you pull off a pretty nice clutch here. It's a very hard 3v1 in search. You play it pretty well. You both get caught off guard here. You're kind of lucky that he was sprinting as well. You want to make sure, especially around corners, don't sprint around him. Alright, you want to get to a bomb site here. You want to give yourself a lot more time. You want to give yourself at least 15 or 10 seconds while you're at the bomb site. Since the new plant time is 5 seconds, you want to have time to do the fake plant and draw them out. A lot of people, especially in a GB match, they're going to be listening with their Astros or whatever their headphones are cranked all the way up. And that's exactly what happened. So you want to give yourself like 15 seconds probably to be at the bomb and do the fake plant and then wait. And then do the other 5 to pull them out. You want to be checking corners a lot faster. And you remember, especially on A and B on Hanoi, there's so many different places to hide. It's probably better just to try the fake bomb plant. Alright, so you're going a completely different route here than you've been going. It's a spotlight. You guys want to try something new, I understand that. You're being really aggressive though. I want to push up this much. Especially with since you didn't use any of your nades or your stuns, you really didn't check to see where anybody was, and you put yourself in a position to have somebody just run up right behind you.
Yeah, you really left yourself extremely vulnerable. I mean, you died because you didn't cover your backside going up that ladder. I mean, if you're going to rush, you need to take the outskirts of the wall so you make sure that nobody gets around you. So you see everything in front of you.
Yep.
There you guys.
Here you had another guy. Yep. And you really got to push out here. Was it 30 seconds in, 25? Got to be out of your base by then.
Yeah, this is a reoccurring theme. These kids were so aggressive that you guys were caught thinking that you needed to stay back in your base to counter it. But you guys never tossed any stuns off the beginning of the match or off the draw. So you guys never even knew where they were coming from. They were always catching you guys off guard.
Alright, fast forward.
Dovic, you can go with this one.
Yeah, that's really right in that position. You don't want to sit in that window because that's always a spot that the other teams are going to nade. They're going to always nade top theater because that's a very high traffic spot in any type of capture flag or search. You're always going to nade that top window, and it's going to hit the doorway and the window. That's why it's such a good nade. So you really can't stay in the doorway like that, and you just kind of stood and cooked your grenade. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to throw it to jail, the jail door, because you got the one guy there in the beginning. And it's kind of a long reach to chasing the kill because you got him in the beginning, so you kept doing it every single time. You were probably better off going your original route that you used to go. They were pushing B a lot, so I think you guys changed the strategy to do 3 on A. But Hanoi is too big of a map. There's too many pathways to cover for you guys to do that. And you guys kind of bunched up there. You had 2 in theater, and you died right off the bat. You really got to avoid those pre-nades. Danny, do you want to go first just as a wrap-up on Mr. SilentShot? The things that overall that he can improve?
Yeah.
And what you saw that was good and bad?
Well, actually, even though you have 8 deaths, pretty much died almost every round, but you actually died from bad mistakes. You never got outshot. You died because you went sprinting through doorways rather than taking your time and panning out, seeing the entire playing field before walking through that doorway. You never really want to sprint through doorways because you always get caught off guard. You can also improve by not getting so... I mean, like, in the first few rounds of this match, you guys have an awesome breakout. You guys get to your spots with confidence. You're ready to go. And then all of a sudden, by like the 3rd, 4th round, you guys are all back in your base scared because they're rushing you guys so hard. I mean, all you needed to do was just toss some stuns, change up your gameplay a little bit, and you would have been absolutely fine. But you really only died from like little fundamental errors, not checking corners, sprinting through doorways, like I said. They had too much map control right off spawn because you guys never tossed any stun grenades or frag grenades just to slow them down on their rushing route. I mean, slowing them down, it doesn't seem like it's much, and you feel like you're wasting a stun grenade, but it really is a really crucial thing to do right in the beginning of Search and Destroy, because breakouts in Search and Destroy are probably the most key thing in any game type, because it's only 1 minute and 30 seconds that you get to play, and the first breakout is 15 seconds of it.
Yep. Alright, so on my part, and kind of going along with Danny's, you want to make sure you have the basic fundamentals down. Now, just because they're basic fundamentals doesn't mean that they're easy to get down at all. Sprinting constantly through doorways and around corners is probably the hardest habit that you're ever going to break. Because it's a constant pub habit. It leads into your mind of you wanting to get the kill. You want to be the guy, the main guy that gets everything. And that's absolutely cool, but it leads to bad play. Because you're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're just letting your hands run for you. That's the hardest habit to break, but about 3 or 4 of your deaths was because you were just coming off a sprint and the other guy had the second or half a second gunshot on you. And if you put yourself in that situation, then you're going to lose. So you always want to just make sure you put yourself in a situation that you're going to win the gunfight because you were prepared. You had the cover, whether it be a head clip or a surprise. A lot of your gunfights, you weren't able to really surprise them. You weren't able to do drop shots. I think there was one where you were able to do the drop shot where you're both coming off a sprint. And there's around Gallows. Secondly, a lot of that stuff's going to come in time. I don't know how long you've been playing competitively, but it looks like a lot of decisions are still, you're still kind of questioning your decision making, what you're going to do while you're doing it. That will come over time. Once you scrim more and do more matches, you'll be on point with what you're doing and where you're going. But overall, there was some really good plays. Like I really like the bomb plant that you did. It was a pretty good clutch there that you almost had in the 2v1. A little better time management, and you probably would have had that. Little practice and just getting down some of the fundamental stuff, and you're going to be a pretty solid player, man.